In a quiet American town, my neighbor was brutally murdered, and every piece of evidence pointed to me. I had no motive, no memory of being there, and no way to prove I was innocent, until I saw something inside that house, something that changed everything. And what I discovered inside that house still haunts me today. I knew something was wrong the moment I saw the police lights reflecting off my bedroom wall. At first, I thought it was just another late-night traffic stop. Pine Hollow was a small town in Ohio. Nothing ever really happened here. The biggest news we usually had was a stolen bicycle or a drunken argument outside Murphy's bar. But that night, the lights didn't go away. They kept flashing, red and blue, painting my ceiling like a warning I couldn't ignore. I got out of bed and walked to the window, and that's when I saw it. The police weren't on the road. They were in my front yard. My stomach dropped. 2 officers were standing near my porch, talking in low voices. A third one was looking toward my house like he was deciding whether to knock. I remember my hands trembling as I walked downstairs. My name is Emily Carter, and until that night, my life was painfully ordinary. I worked at the Pine Hollow Public Library. I lived alone in a small white house I inherited from my aunt. I spent my evenings reading mystery novels and drinking too much coffee. Nothing about me was dramatic. Nothing about me was dangerous. So when I opened the door and saw the police, my first thought was simple. Someone must have made a mistake. "Miss Carter?" the older officer asked. "Yes?" His expression was careful, too careful. "We need you to come with us." "Why?" He hesitated. "There's been an incident." They didn't tell me what happened until we reached the station. I sat in a small gray room, staring at a metal table, listening to the hum of fluorescent lights. Finally, a detective walked in. She placed a photograph in front of me, and my world shattered. It was a picture of Daniel Harper, dead. Daniel had been my neighbor. He lived in the house across Maple Street. He was quiet, polite, and always waved when we passed each other. According to the detective, Daniel had been murdered in his living room, and somehow, I was their main suspect. At 9:15 p.m., the detective said, a witness saw someone leaving Daniel Harper's house, a woman, about your height, wearing a gray coat. I felt my throat tighten. I did own a gray coat, but I hadn't left my house that night. "I didn't do this," I said quietly. The detectives studied me. That's what we're trying to determine. They questioned me for hours. Where was I? Who had I spoken to? Did I know Daniel well? I told them the truth. I barely knew him. And yet, the more I talked, the more I realized how bad everything looked. No alibi, no witnesses, and a neighbor who was now dead. They released me the next morning, but the damage was done. In a town as small as Pine Hollow, rumors spread faster than wildfire. People stared at me in the grocery store. Conversations stopped when I walked into rooms. Even my coworkers at the library avoided eye contact. I felt like I was drowning in silent accusations. But the worst part wasn't the suspicion, it was the fear. Because if I didn't kill Daniel, then someone else did, and that someone was still out there. 3 nights later, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Daniel's house, the yellow porch light, the creaking fence, the living room window that now looked like a dark, empty eye. And then I noticed something strange. A light flickered inside his house. I sat up in bed, my heart pounding. That house was supposed to be sealed as a crime scene, so why was there a light? I don't know what possessed me to cross the street. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was anger, or maybe it was the desperate need to prove I wasn't crazy. The front door was locked, but the back gate was slightly open. I slipped inside. The air smelled stale, metallic, like dried blood and dust. And then I heard it, a sound upstairs, a floorboard creaking. Someone was in the house. I should have run. I should have called the police. But instead, I climbed the stairs. Each step felt like walking towards something irreversible. At the top of the stairs, the hallway was dark, except for a faint glow from Daniel's bedroom. The door was slightly open. I pushed it gently. and froze. Someone was standing at the window, their back to me. A woman. She turned slowly, and I recognized her immediately. Mrs. Langley. Mrs. Langley lived 2 houses down from me. She was in her 60s, always smiling, always baking cookies for the neighborhood. She looked harmless, fragile even, but the expression on her face that night, it wasn't harmless. It was cold. "You shouldn't be here, Emily," she said softly. My voice shook. "What are you doing?" She tilted her head slightly. "Cleaning up loose ends." I ran. I didn't even think. I just ran down the stairs, out the back door, across the street, and into my house. I locked every door and called the police. When they arrived and searched Daniel's house, Mrs. Langley was gone. But they found something else, a hidden box in Daniel's bedroom. Inside were letters, dozens of them, all written by Mrs. Langley. The truth came out slowly. Years ago, Daniel had been involved in a hit-and-run accident that killed Mrs. Langley's son. He was never caught. The case went cold, but Mrs. Langley never stopped looking. When Daniel moved to Pine Hollow under a different name, she recognized him. She spent months planning, waiting, and finally, she killed him. But she needed someone to blame, someone convenient, someone who lived alone, someone quiet, someone no one would defend. Me. The witness who saw a woman in a gray coat wasn't mistaken. It was her. She had bought the same coat I owned. She had planned everything, except one mistake, returning to the house. They caught Mrs. Langley 2 days later at a bus station in Cleveland. When the detective told me, I felt something I didn't expect. Not relief, not satisfaction, just exhaustion. Because even though the truth was out, something inside me had changed. Life in Pine Hollow slowly returned to normal. People apologized. Some avoided me out of guilt. But I was never the same. I still wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, staring at the window, half expecting to see red and blue lights again. And sometimes, when the wind is quiet, I look at the house across Maple Street. It's empty now, but I still feel like someone is watching, and I don't think that feeling will ever leave me.